The courtroom buzzes with tension, a moment hanging in the air. The judge's gavel slams down, the sound echoing through the room like a death knell. Noah's heart pounds in his chest as the verdict is read aloud. Guilty. His eyes burn with disbelief, his hand gripping the edge of the wooden table. The weight of the injustice presses on him like 1,000 tons of stone. He had always believed that truth would win, but now, staring at the floor, he feels the ground beneath him crumble. His life, his work, his everything hangs by a thread. The cold, sterile walls seem to close in around him. A single glance toward the accused reveals nothing but emptiness, an expression void of hope. The fight for justice has only just begun, but Noah's resolve is faltering. The question lingers in the air. Can he still find the truth amidst all this darkness? The dim hallway feels suffocating as Noah stands still, breathing deeply. The shock of the verdict has left him hollow, the weight of the decision settling in his chest. His mind races, trying to piece together what went wrong. The truth was so clear, so undeniable, yet here he was, lost. His fingers grip the letter in his coat pocket, the sealed envelope, a silent reminder of the past he can't outrun. His feet carry him forward, each step mechanical. But his mind is far from the present. He glances over his shoulder, half expecting someone to follow. But the hallway remains empty. The sound of his breathing is the only thing breaking the silence. Noah's pulse quickens. He feels the walls closing in. Can he survive this? Can he truly face what's ahead? Noah's mind races, but every thought feels like a dead end. The guilt has gnawed at him for years, but now it's a full force, a weight too much to carry. His hands tremble as he pulls out the letter, the paper cold against his fingertips. The name on the envelope, the one he had avoided for so long, stares back at him, daring him to open it. But he can't. Not yet. His throat tightens, a lump forming that refuses to go away. He stares at the door ahead of him, his escape route, but it's a futile thought. No matter where he goes, the truth will follow. He crumples the letter, but it feels like he's crumbling too. What's the point of all this? What's the point of facing the inevitable? The noise of the world outside fades as Noah stares into the darkness of the alleyway. The sounds of the city seem so distant, so irrelevant. He tries to shake off the feeling of being watched, but it clings to him. Every shadow seems to hold a secret, every movement a hidden threat. He can't escape it, no matter how far he runs. His body stiffens as a figure emerges from the shadows, the tall, lean frame moving with calculated precision. It's a familiar face, one he thought he'd never see again. The weight of their presence presses down on him. He swallows hard, trying to find his voice. Why are they here? What do they want from him now? The tension is unbearable, thick in the air. Noah's breath quickens as the figure steps closer, their presence consuming the space around him. He wants to speak, to demand answers, but the words refuse to come. Elena's eyes are cold, calculating, and her lips curl into a faint, unreadable smile. I know what you're looking for, she says, her voice low and deliberate. But you're not going to find it. Her words strike Noah like a slap, the truth he's been seeking slipping further out of reach. His fists clench, but he can't bring himself to fight. What does she know? Why does she have this power over him? The silence between them stretches, suffocating, and Noah feels as though he's being pulled into a trap with no way out. The air crackles with tension as Noah moves through the crowded streets, his pulse quickening with every step. His thoughts race. Every glance over his shoulder feels like a warning. There's someone following him. His stomach churns, He tries to stay calm, but panic claws at his chest. The crowd feels suffocating, each face a blur, a potential threat. He pushes forward, weaving through pedestrians, but the footsteps behind him are unmistakable. A voice, low and familiar, whispers through the chaos, sending a chill down his spine. "You can't run forever." Noah's heart stops. He doesn't dare turn, but the voice haunts him. Panic sets in, but he knows he must act. He can't outrun this, not anymore. The chase has begun. But why now? Why is this happening? The realization hits him like a ton of bricks. There's no escape. He must face this head on. Noah ducks into a small cafe, his breath coming in ragged gasps as he takes a seat near the window, watching the world go by. The threat still lingers in his chest, but here, the tension is momentarily relieved. He orders a coffee, but his hand trembles as he lifts the cup. The smell of fresh beans fills his senses, grounding him. He's trying to piece it all together. What does this mean? Who is behind him? He can't stop thinking about the voice he heard in the street. It's like a puzzle, each new piece darker than the last. His thoughts wander to the people he trusts, wondering if one of them could be involved. He sips the coffee, but the bitterness matches the taste in his mouth. He can't shake the feeling that there's something he's missing. The question nags at him, what happens if he's wrong about everything? The door to the cafe opens with a soft jingle, and Noah's head snaps up. Standing in the doorway is a man, tall and imposing. He doesn't speak, but his presence is like a weight in the room. His cold eyes lock onto Noah's, and for a moment time stands still. The man moves with purpose, his steps slow and deliberate, each one echoing in the stillness. Noah's heart races. This is no coincidence. The man's eyes seem to see straight through him, as if he knows every secret Noah has tried to bury. "You've come too far, Noah," the man says, his voice smooth but laced with a hidden threat. Noah's hand tightens around his cup. "Why?" he manages, his voice barely above a whisper. The man's lips curl into a smile, but there's no warmth in it. "Because you're part of something bigger than you think," he replies, his words chilling, "and you'll never outrun the truth." Noah's chest tightens as Lance sits across from him, his presence overwhelming. Silence stretches between them, thick with unspoken tension. "I don't know who you think I am," Noah says, trying to steady his breath, but his voice falters. "But I'm not part of whatever you think I am." Lance watches him intently, his gaze unwavering. "You've been running from your past for too long," Lance says quietly, his voice carrying a weight of experience. "You can't outrun it forever." Noah recoils slightly, his mind spinning. Is this about the letter? The secrets he's tried to bury? The questions about his father that no one ever answers? "You've been avoiding the truth," Lance continues, his voice softer now, almost sympathetic. "But the truth is going to catch up with you, whether you're ready or not." Noah looks away, unsure of what to believe. But Lance's words cut through him, and deep down he knows they're true. Noah's mind spins as Lance's words linger in the air. He stands up abruptly, his chair scraping against the floor. "I don't have time for this," he says, his voice strained. His pulse quickens as he heads for the door, the weight of the conversation pressing down on him. Outside, the world seems quieter, the sun now setting, casting long shadows across the street. He feels a shift, like the world is closing in around him. He has no choice but to act. His hands tremble, but he forces them to steady. The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together, but they don't make sense. He's not sure who he can trust anymore. The fear and confusion threaten to overwhelm him, but there's no turning back. "I'll find the truth," he mutters to himself, "even if it's the last thing I do." His feet carry him forward, determined, but something tells him that this is only the beginning of a far darker journey. Noah sits in the dimly lit bar, a quiet hum of voices and clinking glasses around him. The air is thick with tension, but it's the kind of tension that feels oddly familiar. He is waiting. He can feel it. The moment when everything shifts. A man walks in, casually taking a seat across from him. His smile is warm, his handshake firm, but there's something in his eyes, an unreadable flicker that Noah can't shake. "It's good to see you again," the man says. His voice is reassuring, but Noah's unease deepens. This man feels like an ally, but his presence brings more questions than answers. The conversation flows smoothly, but Noah can't escape the feeling that something isn't right. His instincts are on edge. The small talk fades as they discuss business, but Noah's eyes never leave the man, searching for a crack in the surface. And then it happens. A slight pause, an odd look, a nervous gesture. Noah's gut. Something is wrong, but what? The conversation flows easily, but Noah's mind is racing. Victor is saying the right things, offering help, but every word feels like it's wrapped in layers. "You're not alone in this," Victor assures him, his voice low and soothing. "I've been through worse. You can trust me." Noah nods, but a seed of doubt is planted deep inside. He wants to believe him, to trust the man across from him who seems to understand everything. But there's a hesitation in Victor's eyes that makes Noah second-guess every word. The warmth of the bar seems to fade, replaced by a cold, unsettling air. They laugh, but Noah's thoughts are elsewhere. The longer he stays, the more questions pile up. His hand grips his glass, his knuckles whitening. "You don't have to worry," Victor continues, his voice almost too reassuring. Noah smiles faintly, but his gut churns. A soft touch on his shoulder, a warm smile. But why does this feel like a trap? Victor's voice grows softer, more persuasive. "The truth isn't always easy to swallow," he says, his gaze steady. "But you need to know it. You need to see it." Noah shifts uncomfortably, the weight of the words hanging heavily between them. "What do you mean?" Noah asks, his voice barely above a whisper. There's something in Victor's eyes now, something sharp. "I mean, everything you've been led to believe is a lie," Victor replies, his tone steady, controlled. "Your father's death, your family's involvement, it's all connected. And you've been part of it from the start." The words hit Noah like a slap to the face. His mind races, but his body freezes. Everything he thought he knew is unraveling. "You're not just running from the past," Victor continues, his voice calm but laden with threat. "You're running from yourself." The room seems to close in on Noah. He wants to run, but his body refuses to move. What's the truth? What's the truth? And how deep does this go? Noah stands abruptly, knocking his chair back in the process. His mind is spinning, the walls of the bar closing in. "No," he says, his voice shaking. "This is insane." Victor doesn't move, but his expression shifts slightly, his smile fading into something darker. "You know it's true," he says softly. "You've always known." Without warning, Victor grabs Noah's wrist, his grip like iron. The pain is sharp, but it's the shock of the betrayal that freezes Noah in place. The truth crashes into him like a wave. "You've been a part of this the whole time," Victor says, his words cutting through the tension. "You're not just a victim, Noah. You're a tool." The weight of the betrayal is suffocating. Noah tries to pull away, but Victor holds him firm. The space between them is no longer just physical. It's the divide between everything Noah believed and the reality now crashing down. "You've been set up," Victor whispers, his tone almost kind, but the cruelty behind it is undeniable. Noah's world falls apart. Noah pulls away from Victor, his chest heaving as he stumbles back. The world feels surreal, like he's watching everything through a fog. His hands shake as he wipes his mouth, tasting the bitterness of betrayal. "You're lying," he says, his voice hoarse, but even to him, the words feel empty. He knows it's true. The pieces of his life are falling into place, and the picture is darker than he ever imagined. "You've always been the one pulling the strings," Noah mutters, his voice a mixture of grief and rage. He stumbles toward the door, his legs weak. Victor doesn't stop him. He just watches, a faint smirk playing on his lips. The door slams shut behind Noah, the cold air outside hitting him like a slap. He takes a few steps, his breath ragged, and then stops. He's lost. Everything he thought he knew is shattered, and the reality of the situation sinks in like a stone in his stomach. There's no going back. The truth has been revealed, and Noah's journey is far from over. The silence is suffocating. Noah stands by the window, staring out at the gray sky. The weight of betrayal is still heavy on his chest. But now there's something else. Clarity. His mind races, piecing together fragments of a puzzle that once seemed too vast to understand. The world outside feels distant, unreal. The sound of a clock ticking in the quiet room echoes in his ears, marking the seconds as his thoughts slow down. Everything he once trusted is now clouded with doubt. But amidst the haze, a single truth begins to crystallize. He wasn't just deceived. He was part of it all along. The realization cuts deep, and the weight in his chest grows heavier. So this was it, he whispers to himself. A new understanding settles within him, cold but undeniable. This truth, however painful, is the key to everything. What happens now? The memories come flooding back. Fragments of conversations, fleeting moments that never made sense. Noah's mind drifts to the days leading up to his father's death. He remembers the smell of the old leather chair his father always sat in, the way the room felt so alive with secrets that no one ever spoke aloud. Conversations with Victor now seem so clear in hindsight, each word carefully crafted, each gesture a step in a long game. He remembers the tension in his father's eyes as he tried to warn him, the cryptic words that now hang heavy with meaning. "You'll have to decide," his father had said. Noah shivers as the memory plays over again, clearer than ever. The deception runs deeper than he ever imagined. What he thought was a quest for justice was always part of a much larger plan. The true enemy wasn't the people he thought it was the truth he was too afraid to face. Noah walks into the room where Victor waits. There's no pretense now. The tension between them is palpable. Victor stands by the window, his back turned, looking out at the city below. "I know what you've realized," Victor says without turning around. The words hang in the air, heavy with finality. Noah steps forward, his voice low and filled with a quiet rage. "You've been lying to me from the start." All this time, Victor turns slowly, his expression calm, almost too calm. "Lying? No. I've been showing you the truth, little by little, just like I promised." Noah's hands shake with the anger he can't contain. "And now you think you can control me?" His voice cracks with disbelief. Victor's gaze is steady, unwavering. "I never needed to control you, Noah. You've always been a part of this. You just never knew it until now." The words hit Noah like a physical blow. This is the moment when everything shifts. The truth is out, but it's not what he expected. Victor steps closer, his gaze never leaving Noah's. "You're angry," he says, his voice soft, almost soothing. "But that's what happens when you learn the truth. The world is much smaller than you think. Everything you believed was just an illusion." Noah's mind spins as the weight of Victor's words sinks in. He was never meant to fight for justice. He was always meant to be a pawn in this game. "You used me," Noah says, his voice breaking. Victor smiles, but it's not a friendly smile. "Used you? No. I've simply guided you, and now you're ready to see things for what they really are." The lines between right and wrong blur, and Noah begins to question everything he once knew. Is Victor the enemy, or is he just the reflection of everything Noah could have become? The real enemy isn't who you think, Victor continues, his voice cold. It's in here, he points to Noah's chest, and in everyone you trust. Noah stands alone in the darkened room, the echo of Victor's words still ringing in his ears. The truth settles within him like a cold stone in his gut. The betrayal, the lies, it all makes sense now, but it doesn't make it easier to bear. So this was it all along, he whispers, his voice barely audible. The weight of the realization crushes him, but there's something else, something that shifts inside him. The rage that once consumed him is now tempered with something colder, more focused. He is no longer a victim. He is no longer searching for answers. The answers have found him, and now he will take control. The quiet resolution grows within him. He is ready for whatever comes next. The pieces of his world may be shattered, but they can be rebuilt on his terms. The past may have shaped him, but it no longer defines him. He is ready to face the confrontation ahead. The air crackles with tension. Every breath feels heavier. Noah's footsteps echo down the empty hall, each step pulling him closer to the confrontation. His heart pounds in his chest, the sound deafening in the quiet space. The flicker of overhead lights casts long shadows, deepening the unease. He pauses, taking a slow breath, but the moment of calm before the storm feels like an eternity. The door looms ahead, the one that will unlock everything: truth, betrayal, pain. His fingers graze the cold handle, a fleeting touch before he opens it. This ends tonight, Noah murmurs to himself, voice barely above a whisper. But the weight of the coming moment presses on him, his body tense with a mix of fear and determination. There's no turning back now. The collision is inevitable. The door swings open with a creak, and Noah steps into the room. The confrontation is immediate. You think you can walk in here and change everything? The man sneers, eyes narrowing in disdain. Noah's voice is low, but steady. I'm done running. The tension escalates as words turn to a clash of ideologies. You don't know the full story. The man growls, his voice thick with anger. You never will. Noah's breath quickens. Then I'll make sure I do. The fight begins, but it's not just physical. Every word exchange digs deeper into the fracture between them. Victor stands his ground, each sentence a challenge. Noah's fists tighten, his resolve hardening. The room feels smaller, the air thick with the clash of ideals. The momentum shifts, both men believing they're right, but only one can be. A sudden crash, the sound of a body hitting the floor. An ally, someone Noah trusted, lies motionless in the corner. No! Noah shouts, rushing to their side. The room blurs around him, the realization of the sacrifice sinking in like a stone in his chest. Why? His voice cracks. The person he thought he could rely on is gone. Their life now a price paid for this battle. Victor watches, his face unreadable. I warned you, he says, almost dismissively. The loss is palpable, each heartbeat reverberating with the pain of what's been taken. Noah's breath catches, a lump forming in his throat. This isn't just about winning anymore. It's about survival, and the price of it has never been clearer. Noah stands, his chest heaving with grief and rage. His gaze locks with Victor's. Finally, face to face in the way that matters. This ends now, Noah says, the words low but filled with finality. Victor steps forward, his expression calm, almost pitying. You think you've won? He asks, voice soft but cutting. This was always going to happen. You were never meant to have peace. The words hang in the air, each syllable dripping with venom. Noah doesn't hesitate. I don't care what you think. I care about what I'm going to do. The room seems to hold its breath as the two face each other, poised for what will come next. This isn't just about a fight. It's about breaking free from the chains of the past. A silent moment of understanding passes between them before the final act begins. The silence after the chaos is deafening. Noah stands panting, blood on his hands, his heart still racing. The world feels different now. The cost of victory is laid bare before him. The blood, the sacrifice, the broken bonds. His eyes look down at the ground, at the pieces of his life scattered around him. So this was it, he whispers, his voice hollow but resolute. There's no going back to what was. Everything has changed. As the dust settles, Noah stands tall, his body battered but his mind clear. The fight is over, but the real journey is just beginning. A new chapter is ahead, and this time he's ready. The room fades into darkness, but Noah's resolve burns brighter than ever. The world trembles around him, but he stands steady. The ending is not a defeat, it's a rebirth. The smoke clears. Silence settles over the wreckage. The world feels distant, the air still, like the calm after a storm. Noah stands amidst the destruction, his breath slow and shallow. The room is in disarray, the remnants of battle scattered across the floor. The quiet feels unnatural, as if the world itself is holding its breath. His body aches, but the physical pain pales in comparison to what's inside. He looks around, taking in the empty space, the silence where once there was noise, violence, and chaos. Everything has changed. The pieces of his life that were once so clear now lie broken, irreparable. It's gone, he whispers to himself. The cost of truth is far heavier than he anticipated. What's left for him now? The memories of those he's lost swirl in Noah's mind, each one a fleeting image, a smile, a laugh, a touch now gone. He can still hear their voices, though distant, echoing in his thoughts. His heart aches as guilt rises within him. Could I have done more? The question gnaws at him, pulling him deeper into reflection. The faces of those lost flicker in the dim light, the warmth of their presence now just shadows in his mind. I couldn't save them, Noah admits softly, his voice cracking. The weight of truth presses down harder. The battle is over, but the consequences linger. Life will never return to what it was, and the road ahead will be different. He takes a deep breath, wiping away a tear. It has to be enough, he whispers, realizing the path to peace will not be easy. But it must begin with acceptance. A faint sound reaches Noah's ears. A soft shuffle, a breath. He looks up, his eyes locking onto a figure emerging from the shadows. Elena, she's standing. Barely. But the light in her eyes reflects something different. I thought you were gone, Noah whispers, his voice barely audible. I thought I lost you too. She smiles weakly, the pain in her face evident, but her eyes are filled with something else. Resilience, perhaps even forgiveness. You didn't lose me, she says quietly, her voice raspy. You never will. The words linger between them, a promise, an unspoken understanding. They stand there in silence, the weight of everything unspoken yet clear in the space between them. Time seems to slow as they both realize what they have survived, what they still have. Noah stands in the old office, his father's desk before him. The memories flood back, his father's quiet wisdom, the lessons that were never fully understood until now. You always said it wasn't the fight that mattered, Noah murmurs, his voice heavy. It was what came after. The words feel like an echo, reverberating in his mind. He remembers the soft creak of the chair, the steady rhythm of his father's voice. I see it now, Noah says softly, a faint smile tugging at his lips. You were right. The lessons, the sacrifice, the journey, that have all led to this moment. He turns, a sense of peace settling within him. The weight of the past lightened by understanding. The world is still broken, but he is no longer lost in it. The time for questions is over. Noah walks down the quiet street, the weight of the past still present, but not as overwhelming. "It's over," he whispers to himself, the words feeling like a weight lifted. The sun is setting, casting a golden hue over everything, the world bathed in soft light. He looks down at the empty space beside him, the silence heavy. "I'll keep going," he murmurs, the resolve clear in his voice. The journey has changed him, but it hasn't broken him. The world may still be full of shadows, but he's learned to walk through them. As the last of the daylight fades, Noah takes a deep breath, the sense of quiet strength surrounding him. The ending is not an ending, it's a beginning. The world is still. For a moment, everything seems suspended in time. The remnants of the past lie in the distance, unseen but felt in every breath. The weight of what has happened is heavy, but it settles into silence now. The soft morning light creeps across the room, as if to cleanse the chaos. The ticking of a clock breaks the stillness, slow and deliberate. Noah stands alone in the center, eyes blank as he absorbs the void left behind. He takes a deep breath, but it feels different now, heavier. "So much lost," he whispers, the words barely more than a breath. But there's something else. What remains is not just pain, but understanding. The questions that haunted him now settle into clarity. Was it worth it? The answer lingers in the air, unanswered, but deeply felt. Noah walks down the street, his steps steady but slow. The world continues around him. Life moves on, unchanged by the turmoil he's just survived. He doesn't look back. The past is behind him now, but the weight of it remains, like a shadow always at his side. With each step, he feels the burden lift a little more. "I've done what I can," he thinks quietly. The sound of his footsteps is the only thing he hears, rhythmic and steady, guiding him forward. There's no turning back, no undoing what's been done. But now there's peace in the leaving. No more chasing, no more running, only forward. And as he walks away, the city feels smaller, less imposing. He's leaving the past behind, but it's never truly gone. Noah pauses at a small memorial, a place of remembrance. He traces the edges of a photo, the faces of those he's lost. "You were right," he whispers, recalling the advice given long ago. The echoes of voices long silenced fill the air, their presence still tangible. The words are soft, but they carry weight. "We are never truly gone." He leans against the wall, the warmth of the sun on his back, a slight breeze ruffling his clothes. The world continues around him. But here, in this quiet space, time slows. His mind returns to those who came before him, the lessons they imparted, the choices they made. The memories are all that remain now, and the legacy of those who shaped him. The weight of their absence is heavy, but their impact lingers. The past may be gone, but its influence endures. The world moves on, people pass by, lost in their own lives, unaware of the quiet change that has taken place. A new day begins, bringing with it new faces, new rhythms. The hum of the city feels different now, familiar but distant. Noah stands at the edge of the street, watching as life continues. "I'll never forget," he thinks quietly, but his gaze shifts to the horizon. There's peace in the passing, in the movement forward. The weight of everything he's carried feels lighter now, not gone, but integrated. The city is still bustling, but he is not the same. The world around him has changed, and so has he. The quiet moment of reflection is interrupted by a soft voice calling him back. It's time to move forward, but the lessons, the memories will never fade. Noah stands at the edge of a small, quiet park. The sky is beginning to darken, the last traces of daylight fading. He takes a deep breath, his gaze steady as he looks out over the peaceful scene before him. This is it, he thinks, the final moment arriving with quiet certainty. The journey has been long, but it's not the end. It's simply another beginning. The world continues to turn, but for now, he is at peace. His hand rests on his chest as if feeling the pulse of the world around him. The quiet is broken only by the sound of his steady breath. He's been through hell and back, but now there's clarity. Truth must never be owned, he whispers to the still night. It's a lesson learned, an echo that will follow him always.